Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions on BetCross. Another very beautiful Saturday morning, and once again, we're back with our predictions as usual. Let's look at football matches going on across the globe, and we'll select a few of these matches and look into them thoroughly before making verdicts on it. We actually use the previous results for each of these teams, that they have recent times, and comparing those results, we always come up with the best possible verdict on these very matches that are going on. Okay, that's exactly what we're going to do in a short while, and. Okay, but before we head on to the business of today, I want to urge you to remember to join our VIP special membership on this very channel. We'll put out games that we believe to be, having that likelihood of coming out correctly. You can always access our VIP membership through the description of this very video. You can always find a link where you can have access to our VIP perks. All right, and also anywhere you see join around this very video, it can also lead you to our VIP membership group for a token. All right. That being said, without further ado, we head to the business of today, and today we have quite exciting games lined up. And the first for today is actually a game in the top division of Norway, where we have Haugesund who will be facing HamKam. All right, when you look at the stats for each of these matches for the recent games for the home side for Haugesund, we saw them having just one draw in the last 6 matches, but have also lost 5 games out of the last 6 matches that they had so far. And the which side, on the other hand, HamKam have won just once, and they've also had 3 draws, but have lost 2 games out of the last 6 matches that they had in recent times. And when you look at how the two teams have performed from home and away perspective, you could see, but home side, Haugesund, it is just 1 victory and 3 draws in the last 10 home matches. They've also lost 6 games out of those last home games that they had so far. The last home game they had saw them losing against KFUM by 2-0 on that very occasion. This is a side that is actually rock bottom in the Norwegian top flight division. And the away side, when you look at HamKam, on the other hand, the last 10 away matches, I've seen them winning 4 matches out of those. They've won, also had 3 draws as well. And that lost 3 matches out of the last 10 away matches that they had so far. All right, and that also this away side is slightly better than the home side, and the last time both teams met, it was a 1-0 victory, 1-0 victory for HamKam on that very occasion. That happened in August of last year. But when we put all these stats together, we definitely expect the away side to not lose here. We expect to see the away side either winning or drawing, and yet we're going to see under 4.5 in this very one. Are we win or draw and under 4? That's our value for that very encounter. And we head to the next for today. It is in the Switzerland top flight it's called Switzerland Super League, where we have Gallen who will be facing Basel, FC Basel. All right, when you look at the stats for each of these sides, St. Gallen, the home side, have won 3 matches out of the last 6. Also had 1 draw, but have lost 2 games out of those 6% encounters. And when you look at the away side, on the other hand, FC Basel, this is a side who have actually won 4 matches and a draw. They've also lost once in the last 6% games that they have so far. And looking at how the two teams performed from home and away perspective, you could say the home side, St. Gallen, have been able to achieve 6 victories and 2 draws. They've also lost 2 matches out of the last 10 home matches that they had so far. And the away side, on the other hand, the FC Basel, the side who have done very well. They've actually been able to achieve 7 victories out of the last 10 away games that they had so far. And we know that they're doing so very well. They've also had 2 draws as well as 1 loss. The only loss they had was against Young Boys, where they lost by 6-2 on that very occasion. But you could see that the last away game they had so far saw them beating, the home side on that very occasion by 4-2. And Basel have actually been scoring lots of goals recently. Most of the matches have produced lots of goals. We could also see St. Gallen, the last home game they had, saw them, having a 4-4 draw on that very occasion. So it means that both sides are scoring lots of goals. And the last time they met, it was a 2-2 draw between the two sides. That actually happened in February of this very year. So when we put all the stats together, we are expecting to see lots of goals happening here, and we are going with a minimum of 3 goals to occur in this very encounter. It is an over 2.5. That's valid for that very one. All right, and we head to the next for today. It is in the Swedish first division, where we have Degerfors who will be up against Norrkoping, and we're looking at that percent stats for each of these teams. We could say that for Degerfors in the last 6, it has seen them losing 6 games out of the last 6 matches that they've had so far. They are a side that are in quite in very poor form at the moment. And we side Norrkoping have managed 1 win and 2 draws. They've also lost 3 matches out of the last 6 games that they had so far. All right, when you look at how the two teams have fared from home and away basis, you could see that Degerfors, the home side, have not done so very well in the last 10 home matches. They managed 2 victories and 1 draw, but have lost 7 games. As a matter of fact, the last 5 home games that they had, sort of losing all 5 in a row. That tells you how poor this side have been in recent times. So the away side, on the other hand, Norrkoping is a side that had 4 victories and 2 draws in the last 10 away matches. They've also lost 4 matches out of those, and the last away game they had was a match against Malmo. We saw them losing that very occasion by 3-1 against Malmo. All right, and then when we look at how the two teams fared on head-to-head basis, we could see that the last time they met was in May of this very year, and it was Degerfors who won against Norrkoping by 2-1 on that very occasion. But we know that we are actually going with the recent form for between the two sides. We know that the away side at Norrkoping are in fine form at the moment. We saw them beat, the last home game they had, we saw them winning by 3-1 on that very occasion. So we expect to see them doing so very well against this very side, and we are going with the away side once again to not lose here. We're going with that way side to either win or draw once again, and we're going to see we win or draw another 4.5. That's all I've added for that very one. All right, we head to the next for today, which I'm going to be the last for today. It is a game in second division of Luton here, where we have BFA who will be facing Jonava. All right, and when you look at the stats for each of these clubs, you can say that BFA, the home side, in the last 6 matches that it has so far, producing 3 wins out of the last 6 games. And they've also had a draw, but have lost 2 matches out of the last 6 games that they had in recent times. And Jonava, on the other hand, their West side managed to win once and they had 3 draws, but have lost 2 matches out of the last 6 games that they had so far. Okay, when you look at how the two teams have performed from home and away perspective, you could see that BFA, the home side, is a side who have actually done very well from home, winning 6 matches and 3 draws in the last 10 home games that they have so far. They've also lost once in the last 10 home matches. And the away side, Jonava, on the other hand, have also done very well, winning 5 matches out of the last 10 away matches. They've also had 2 draws, but have lost 3 matches out of the last 10 away games that they have so far. Okay, and the last away game they had was against Eskranas, and it was a 0-0 draw on that very occasion. But we saw BFA, the last home game they had was against the same Eskranas, and BFA was able to defeat Eskranas by 1-0 on that very occasion. So BFA have been doing very well from home. And when we look at how they fared on head-to-head basis, it was BFA who had the upper hand the last time both teams met, and they played from away on that very occasion. And BFA won against Jonava by 1-0 from away. And prior to that, we also saw BFA in 2023 also beating this very side from away by 3-0 on that very occasion. And also, what I've mentioned is the fact that it was actually a match of this very year that this last meeting happened, and we saw BFA having the upper hand on that very occasion. So here we are going with the home side, BFA, to do very well. We do not expect them to lose in this very encounter. So we are also going with the home side to either win or draw here, and yet we're going to see under 4.5. So home win or draw in under 4.5. That's our value for that very encounter. And that concludes it for us today on Betcraft. Wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes. Remember this very match that we predict will be on our VIP special group, where we'll be putting out all those ones out there, and also believe that those ones have the high probability of coming out correctly. Do not miss out. But until then, keep winning. Okay? We'll be back tomorrow. Don't miss out. But until tomorrow, keep winning.